how does Brady going to Tampa Bay now impact the league? Obviously, he's moving from the AFC to the NFC.
I think it'll be fun in Tampa Bay. I don't see it having an enormous impact directly in terms of the competitiveness. I think Tampa Bay will get better because I think Tom Brady, even at this stage of his career, is better than Jameis Winston. You know, recall what Fitzpatrick did as quarterback of Tampa Bay, and though he has much more of a kind of gung-ho approach than Tom Brady, Brady, just by not making a lot of mistakes and game managing and then being big in important situations with all those weapons, should make Tampa Bay better. But I don't think Tampa Bay is going to win the Super Bowl. I think they maybe go to the playoffs, maybe win a game. I don't see them winning a Super Bowl. Meantime, what dominoes are there really to fall? Is suddenly Teddy Bridgewater, well, he's now off the market. Is Cam Newton the next domino to fall that's really going to make a difference in the league in this upcoming season? I don't see it. So I don't know that Brady now finally signing, if he does indeed sign with Tampa Bay, in fact changes things this upcoming season all that much, other than we got our eye on them now.
Well, I think it's going to elevate the profile of the NFL to some degree. I think it would have worked well if he went in a bigger market, no question. But I think Tampa Bay, you're in the NFC South, the same division as Drew Brees. You're playing Drew Brees and Matt Ryan twice a year each. I think that goes a long way. I think being in the same conference as Aaron Rodgers goes a long way. I think being in the same conference as the Cowboys go a long way. Russell Wilson. And, of course, Jimmy Garoppolo, because he's still in San Francisco. So I think all of those things brings the eye of the storm towards the NFC, even in a way that it may not have done so before. And I think that makes it interesting. Outside of that, him not having weapons last year and having weapons this year, I expect him to have a much better season this upcoming year. I expect Tampa Bay to make the playoffs. I think their level of relevancy will be elevated exponentially. And as a result, who knows where the storylines will take us, particularly if we end up seeing Brady against Garoppolo, Brady against Rodgers, of course, Brady against Brees.
I'm interested. I heard both of you guys allude to Tampa and the matchups in the NFC and all of that. The storyline will be who's having a better season, Brady or Belichick. We will be paying attention to the New England Patriots and Tom Brady more than we'll be paying attention to actually Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Bucks. Obviously, it makes them a contender when you have talent, and they're in the NFC South where you have Drew Brees, and all of that is exciting. But the number one narrative that was created at the beginning of this conversation, when we start talking about the possibility of Tom Brady leaving the New England Patriots, was him and Belichick. Who's responsible? That'll be the storyline for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and you know what else? Like, as Stephen A. says, no excuses. I don't want to hear the Tom Brady apologists coming out now. You got a coach in Bruce Arians. You got an underrated defense. You got Brait and O.J. Howard. You got Godwin and Mike Evans and maybe Antonio Brown potentially before the end of the year. My Lord, what do you need? Like Stephen A., he's got all the weapons now.
Well, first of all, you're obviously you're misinforming the audience. So let's check that right now. Of course, Tom Brady has no excuses now. We're not saying that he does, nor are we saying that he should, Max. What we're saying is that he didn't need any excuses before, when you were talking about a cliff that was non-existent. Don't change the narrative. That's the narrative. That ain't about what he does now. Ain't nobody worried about what Tom Brady's going to do now. He's got to perform, or else he'll look bad, and we'll all be there to chronicle it, because he certainly doesn't have any excuse to not have any weapons. But over the last 3 to 4 years, please, nothing to talk about.
I was 1 year off precisely. What I said in my original comment was what Brady did last year.
Here we go.
Oh, boy.
What Brady did, not last year, but the year before last.
Don't do it.
What Brady did the year before last was what I thought he would do 3 years ago, which is win as a Peyton Manning-style game manager, plus because he wasn't hurt. But Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos as a cooked quarterback. Tom Brady won a Super Bowl with the Patriots, the lowest scoring ever, behind a defense and a running game. Last year, he got bumped in the first round, and this year he's not on the Patriots anymore because they wouldn't pay him like an elite quarterback because he's not one. So is there a cliff, yes or no?
Molly, essay, we're not going to go down this rabbit. We're not gonna go down.
You know what, Molly?
Here's what I will say, Max.
Swaggle, you know what, Molly? And Swaggle? Max is the only person on the planet Earth that brags about being a year late. First of all, we all know it was longer. But he actually brags about being a year late. Even if he was right, he was still off a full year.
I agree. I credit Tom Brady.
He actually brags about it.
Hold on. I credit Tom Brady. But what about the rest of y'all pretending he's still elite? At least I'm caught up to reality. Y'all still living 2 years ago.
He went to 3 Super Bowls since the Cliff prediction. 3.
I have one issue. I have one issue with what Max is saying. Max, please don't compare him to Peyton, bro. Peyton was broke down. Peyton had issues. Peyton couldn't even push the ball downfield. Tom Brady is not lacking in physicality like Peyton Manning was. Tom Brady doesn't need to be carried. Maybe he needs to be carried a little bit. I don't disagree with you there. But he does not need to be carried as much as Peyton Manning was carried by that Denver Broncos defense.
No doubt. So you're right about this.
And
Tom Brady has avoided big
requisite throws.
Tom Brady's resistance to injury has been remarkable and actually has been the key to the fact that he's still a solid NFL quarterback. That's why.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.